Hey everyone, Penguin here. First ever audio recording, so let's see how this goes. Today we're going to talk about Simon Belmont from V Rising. Tip number one is simply don't be intimidated. It might seem daunting that his name is always read in the V Blood listing, but the fight is actually a lot easier than you might be thinking. Personally, I attribute this to the Minion build that I use, but I think with any build, this can be an accessible fight. Okay. Tip number two is that because he's an open field fight, you can meet him within the world. Use that to your advantage. You know, hit him hard, hit him fast when you find a spot that you like. Pick somewhere open with plenty of cover that you can use when you need to control the pace and flow of the fight to your advantage. And you can sort of see at the beginning of the fight, you know, I use that to take a big chunk out of his health from the beginning with very little risk to myself. And you can do the same, and it's just a huge help. Tip number three, for essentially the first half of the fight, his moves are pretty slow and pretty telegraphed. You know, you can, there are big windups, you can sort of see the red circles that come, and so it's not too hard to avoid. You know, get yourself somewhere safe, heal when you need to. This is just a good time to really take charge of the pacing of the fight. At around half health, things start to change. So that's when we're going to get into tip 4. We'll notice that he starts doing more things to hit the ground. He starts throwing out more of his little saw chakram things, like you're seeing right here. So it's just something to be mindful of. Your maneuverability is going to be limited in some ways, but still it's not impossible to move around because the fire does go away after a little while. You know, use what options you have from ranged. You know, personally for me that's minions. You know, to take his attention away when possible, do some damage. And then we'll see him use his most annoying ability, in my opinion, and this leads to tip 5. His Mending Cross ability is one that heals him. It'll heal him while doing damage to you. You can see the beams will obviously hurt you, and the white portion of his health is what he's going to heal. So it's just about mitigating and reducing that as quickly as possible before he gets the most out of his ability. So, you know, use your abilities to apply pressure, hit him hard, hit him a lot, while just moving around to protect yourself. Okay, and then tip number 6, it essentially just comes down to, you know, keep wearing him down, keep your health in good shape. Things are going to get more hectic in this fight. He's going to be moving around a lot more. He's going to want to be closing the distance, and that's the biggest thing about Simon, in my opinion, is that he wants to be doing most of his things up close. So as long as you're keeping that range, you're giving yourself time to, you know, to dodge. You're giving yourself time to heal. You're giving yourself time to control the flow of the fight and orient yourselves. Most times we take damage or we get caught up in a bad situation, is from panicking. You know, we get hit with a lot of things at once, and we start panicking, trying to figure out how to recover. This avoids that. Now, right here, we see that some people join the fight. For me, in the Minion build, this was actually a really good moment because it allowed me to create a bunch more minions, which applied more pressure to him, more distractions towards him, and really gave me the most out of my damage output. So, you know, if you see some people and you're using a Minion build, don't feel concerned, don't panic. Use them. They're essentially fodder for giving you more damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward fight. Just, you know, stay wary, stay somewhere that gives you a lot of maneuverability, where you're not going to feel cornered. Beyond that, I'm sure you'll do great. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the fight. Bye.
I've got you now. Your end, this valor.